The domination of Sebastian Vettel is obviously an interesting question. Last year, we had quite a few different winners for quite a few different races at the start of the season. There was at least six races that had different winners at the start, and people were complaining there was no consistency. And now, when you have someone dominating the sport, people are complaining as well. It's almost like the Montpellier effect when Montpellier won the French league, and people are saying, "Well, why Paris Saint-Germain not winning the league?" I think ultimately Vettel, he's a great driver. His success has been good, but you always want to see someone else winning, and you don't want to see some of the big teams languishing too far behind Red Bull. There's a lot of talk about TV audience in decline, but inevitably with the migration to pay television from free to air, there are going to be movement amongst the figures. In fact, there was a 16.5% demographic growth last year. There are a lot more people able to access F1 now. You've got the Sky Plus factor where people are, of course, not watching live. And if you look at the situation in the BBC, in the UK, with the BBC only having half the races live, the Malaysia race this year was live on Sky, which was in the early hours of the morning in the UK. The highlights were in the afternoon on BBC. So more people arguably watched the Malaysian Grand Prix this year on free-to-air, on highlights, as opposed to if it'd been live on the BBC only this year. So I think there are a lot of positives. You have to look in America. There's a landmark deal that's been agreed with NBC Sports. I think the business model will evolve. It has to evolve because there is less money available to free-to-air broadcasters now.